So I think I know where Trump is getting his campaign strategy from these days. Here's Sean Hannity, and he's going to do some deranged babbling about the election.
And as I detail, I have chapter 4 in my book, Live Free or Die. Guess what? Socialism, a history of failure. One thing is certain, regardless of whatever name they call it, whatever country they've tried it, lofty promises that everything is going to be taken care of, socialism always results in broken promises, widespread misery, dramatic increases in poverty, carnage, corruption, loss of freedom, and one-party rule. Every single Marxist state throughout history is an utter failure. Still, in order to shore up his radical base, the very weak Joe Biden is now bowing down to these extremists. And Biden, of course, tapping Bernie Sanders as his chief economic czar, literally plagiarizing, as usual, Bernie's socialist platform word for word. Remember, Bernie Sanders, he used to be a pariah not long ago inside the Democratic Party, an outlier. You know, he was just a socialist, and it was a coalition together with the Democrats. He was just basically tolerated among party leadership, but an annoyance every step of the way from Vermont, who pretty much had insane socialist ideas. Now he's calling the shots inside the Biden campaign because Joe is desperate. And as the president called it, the Biden Bolshevik Bernie manifesto. Now maybe that's why Biden is also adopting the radical left's war on police.
I wish I lived in the world that exists in Sean Hannity's head. I wish. Because we would be in a much better position than we are currently if that world was real. There's so much that's amazing about this. I mean, first I'll state the obvious. No, this is not Bernie Sanders' party. I wish it was Bernie Sanders' party. We tried to make it Bernie Sanders' party. We almost had it as Bernie Sanders' party. But it's not. You got to keep it real. You got to look at the facts as they are. And look at the vote with the DNC the other day. They slapped down Medicare for all. They slapped down legalizing marijuana. They slapped down a bunch of stuff that they wouldn't even, they wouldn't even put the right language to be against Israeli occupation. Okay? It's not, I wish, but it's not our party. It is the party of Joe Biden. It's the party of Kamala Harris. It's the party of Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama. It is a neoliberal corporate party through and through. That's what it is. So he's just he's just empirically wrong. It's Nancy Pelosi's party. It's Chuck Schumer's party. It's the status quo enthusiast party. It's the let's enable Trump party. These are the same people who gave Trump more in his military budget than he even asked for. They gave him increased spying powers. They gave him Wall Street deregulation. The list goes on and on. Now, having established that he's just factually wrong, this is the strategy they're going with, and this is what they think is going to work. Hey, Sean, look at the polls, Dippy. You've been screaming this into the ether endlessly, and he's not doing any better. Trump has been using your strategy, your advice here, your arguments, and it's not working. Because it's ridiculous on its face, and it doesn't ring true. There's so many things. Biden is such a target-rich environment, and they're not hitting him in any way that's reasonable, that would work, that makes sense. So it's crazy to see this. But beyond that, listen, I find it amazing. One of these days, somebody needs to let the conservatives know it is not an argument to simply repeat scare words over and over. I get it, man. I know your audience. I know what triggers them. And, your whole thing is, if I say socialism a lot, and if I say Marxism a lot, and if I say Bolshevik, well, this is obviously going to scare the pants off of my geriatric audience. Yes, it is. But what you're doing doesn't mean anything. There's no actual argument that you're making. You're stating it, and just the fact that you're stating it is enough to signal to your audience, these things are bad and we're against it. Okay, let's actually have a conversation about the specifics, Sean. Let's debate. Let's talk about Medicare for all, for example, single-payer healthcare, socialized medicine. Let's talk about that. Every other developed country on the planet has one version or another of it. When you look at the objective empirical rankings on which systems are the best in the world, it's always the single-payer systems, always. Either France or the UK or one of the Scandinavian systems. Always. They kick our ass in every single relevant, measurable way. But weird, Sean Hannity doesn't tell you that. He doesn't want to have a conversation about the Commonwealth study on this that ranked us 11th out of 11. He doesn't want to have any specific conversations on the nuanced policy positions. He doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to do that. Why? Why doesn't he want to do that? It's almost because he can't win in those discussions. All he has is what he's doing here. Socialism, 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 Marxism, Bolshevik. And then, by the way, he does the whole socialism, it's a history of failure. There's poverty. He just lists bad things. Poverty, that's bad. There's poverty, there's carnage, there's corruption, as opposed to here where we have no poverty and no corruption. You're such a joke. You're such a caricature. And of course, what do? They never grapple with the most basic of basic responses, which is social democracy is on the spectrum closer towards socialism, but it's a mix of socialism and capitalism. And the social democratic countries are objectively the most successful on the planet. Objectively, measurably. In every way that we would measure quality of life and how people are doing and hope for the future and everything. They kick our butts. They don't grapple with that. They like the first place they go to is like the old Soviet Union, for example. They try to pick out incredibly repressive authoritarian regimes and say, that's what they want. No, that's authoritarianism. That's authoritarianism. And, so many on the left are libertarian leftists. They're against any kind of, over-the-top social controls, managing your private life and things of that nature. But that's all they have is to conflate any kind of left-wing idea with authoritarianism, muddy the waters, not ever discuss the specifics of the Scandinavian countries and what makes them so successful, a lot of socialist ideas. And it's just like he's been straw-manning people his entire career, and he's got to the point where he's incapable of making an argument. It's literally just scary words. Socialism, aren't you scared? Marxism, aren't you scared? Bolshevik, aren't you scared? You gotta be scared. I said the words that you're supposed to have the Pavlovian response and say, oh, that's so bad. I hate those bad things. He said bad words. Yeah, I said bad words. Do you guys get tired of being so up your own asses and incapable of having a real conversation or really exploring what these different political philosophies and ideologies mean? And the answer is no. There's just, they go there, it's a preach to the choir type thing. It's I'm going to tell you what you already believe, confirmation bias all day long, and it's ridiculous. Not a single part of that was true. From the idea that the left already has the party, I wish, but we don't, to the lack of an argument. The one time that he went further than just using the scare words, he put a list on screen. I believe he was attacking Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. He put a list on screen of some of the policies that she wanted. And yet again, he didn't actually respond to it. He just showed, she wants government health care. She wants a Green New Deal. She wants a Green New Deal. He just listed it and then cited it and then moved on. As if just the citing of it alone is got him. Again, I get it, it's Fox News. He's not trying to be intellectual or whatever, but you're not even going to try? He's not going to try. Because again, it's the geriatric audience that's just going there to shut off their brains and have the Pavlovian, oh, Sean done got him again. Congratulations, Sean. You're such a genius. Now, please continue with your absurd strategy where you act like it's already Bernie's party. Yeah. The guy who had the entire Democratic establishment coalesce behind his back, Obama made phone calls to Amy Klobuchar and Mayor Pete, got them to drop out at the last minute, endorse Biden, literally shivved him in the back the day before the most important election, destroyed him, and then now all they did is placate him by doing some, a policy unity commission thing. Still put their middle finger up to him in those. But yeah, that guy somehow is running stuff. I wish, Sean, and if it was us, God, we would kick your ass so bad. Because what do you even believe in? You believe in nothing. You believe in nothing. What are the list of things that Sean Hannity loves in terms of policy? What? More capital gains tax cuts? We got to get rich investors to be even more rich? Yeah, congratulations. Try making that pitch when you actually have a competent person calling out your BS. It wouldn't go too well for you.